Venn diagrams are a very helpful tool that we will use in the classroom, and some of you might already be familiar with. A diagram is a picture or chart, some type of thing that helps you see the relationship between two things, and this, what you see on the screen right now, is a Venn diagram. So it's a circle that overlaps another circle. And the reason we use Venn diagrams is because they help us do two things. The first is to compare. So how are these things similar or the same? What do they have in common? And they also help us contrast. So how are these things different? How are they not alike? So my first example is going to be a very easy one that should be familiar to most people, and that is the difference and similarities between cats and dogs. So when you create a Venn diagram, one circle is going to be that topic. So my pink circle is about cats, and my orange circle is about dogs. So in their own separate circles, these are the things that are different between cats and dogs. In the middle, where the pink and orange overlap, is where I have similar things. So how are cats and dogs alike? So the first thing that I might think of is, okay, what's something I know about cats? Well, I know cats meow. And I know dogs don't meow, they bark. So those are one difference between cats and dogs. The next difference I might think of is that cats use a litter box. That means you train them and they use a little box inside the house. Whereas most dogs are going to be taken outside and do not use a litter box. If I even look at my little picture up here, I might see some similarities right away between cats and dogs. So something that they share in common would go in this middle category. One thing I can see is that they both have fur. Another thing that they might have in common that you can see in the picture, they both have tails. Another similarity, again you can see this in the picture up here, they both wear collars. Another difference between cats and dogs, I know I take my dog outside and I don't want my dog to run all over the place, so usually my dog is walked on a leash. And for the most part, people keep their cats indoors and they don't use a leash with them. One last similarity would be that both make good pets. Now these are just a few differences and similarities, however you could probably fill this entire diagram. I want to show one more quick example. You could compare superheroes and villains. You can see, alright, what do my superheroes do and what do my villains do, and then what might they have in common? Well, superheroes are usually fighting evil, villains fight the good guys. Superheroes usually win, and villains usually lose. And even though they're very different, they're on different sides, they do have some things in common. They both have powers, they both wear special costumes, and they both fight. You can use Venn diagrams to compare anything. It could be something related to English class, like fiction and nonfiction books. You could talk about it in science, what the difference between climate and weather is. You might use them in math to look at different equations. But you can also use them for fun things like the difference between Fortnite and Minecraft, or the difference between country and rap music. So Venn diagrams are a really helpful tool that show us the differences between and help us compare and contrast.